Okay, boys and girls, let's find out what's going to happen with Bradley Chalkers. If you remember yesterday, he just was in Carla's office and he told her he could not do his homework because he didn't know what page they were on. And he was crying about that, and Carla started crying as well. And so she was going to help him, I think, or she was just encouraging him that he could do his homework. So chapter 28 starts like this. Bradley lay on his bed, on his stomach. He chewed the end of his pencil, and he looked hopelessly at the arithmetic book, that means math, book in front of him. Next to the book was a piece of paper. In the upper right-hand corner, he had written. He writes it like this. Bradley Chalkers, homework, math, page 43, Red Hill School, room 12, Miss Ebel's class, last seat, last row, black eye. And look, he's written all that in the top of his paper instead of just his name. His handwriting, which was messy anyhow, was made worse by the fact that he wrote with a dull pencil on top of his soft bed. He had stayed in Miss Ebel's class as long as he could after the bell rang. Bradley, it's time to go, Miss Ebel finally told him. He looked outside, unsure if Jeff and his gang of bullies were waiting on him. I have a question, he said. Mrs. Ebel eyed him suspiciously. What kind of question? She said. He tried to figure out what kind of question he had. An asking question? I see, said Mrs. Ebel. Well, can I ask it? He said. Okay, she said reluctantly. So he asked his question. What page is the homework on? The homework? She said, surprised. Page 43. So he wrote 43 on the top of his tennis shoe so he wouldn't forget. Then he took his arithmetic book and he stepped outside. Jeff and his friends were playing basketball, so he ran home. Now he looked hopelessly at page 43 and shook his head and sighed. Question number 1. What is 3/4 of 2/3? It was the most impossible question he had ever seen. Hey, Bradley, what you doing? Asked Ronnie Rabbit. Homework. What's homework? She asked. Oh, it's work you do at home. Is it supposed to be fun? She said. No, not really. That's what they do at school. They give you work that you have to do at home, and then they call it homework. You've never done that before, said Ronnie. Well, I'm doing it this time for Carla, so I need to concentrate. Question 1. What is 3/4 of 2/3? Why are you doing it for Carla? Ronnie Rabbit asked. Okay, I'll tell you, but you can't tell anyone. Ronnie promised. I won't tell. We're in love, said Bradley. Really? Said Ronnie. How do you know you're in love? She kissed me, Bradley said. Ooh, that does mean she loves you, said Ronnie. Are you going to marry her? Maybe, when I'm older. But first, I have to do my homework. I'm going to marry Bartholomew, Ronnie said. I know, said Bradley. Now, let me do my homework. Question 1. What is 3/4 of 2/3? Hey, Bradley, what's going on? Asked Bartholomew. Leave him alone, said Ronnie. He's doing his homework. He can't concentrate when you talk to him. Maybe I can help him, said Bartholomew. What's the problem? What is 3/4 of 2/3? Bradley said. 3/4 of 2/3. That's a tough one, Bartholomew said. Let's see. First, you got to divide 4 into No. Multiply 2 times, Well, I know of means divide, said the donkey. Like you take half of something. That's what divide means. Like you divide 3 by 2 and 4 by 3. So Bradley tried to write that down. No, of means times, said the lion. You gotta multiply everything. First you have to reverse the denominators, said the fox. You don't reverse, you inverse, said the mother cocker spaniel. I think you have to find a common denominator, said the elephant. Not for multiplication, said the hippopotamus. That's only for addition. Well, multiplication is the same as addition, said the fox, only faster. Well, you have to cancel out the 3's, said the kangaroo. You always cancel out the 3's. Bradley kept erasing and rewriting and erasing and rewriting until there was nothing but a big black smudge covering his paper. On top of the smudge, he tried to write 3 times 3 equals 9, but when he did, his pencil tore a hole right through the paper. The answer can't be 9, said Ronnie. If you start out with a fraction, you have to end with the fraction. Bradley slammed his book shut. None of you know what you're talking about, he cried out in disgust. He took his book and his paper and pencil and walked down the hall to the dining room. His mother was sitting at the table, working on a crossword puzzle from the newspaper. He plopped down next to her and sighed. She looked at him inquisitively. I can't figure out how to do my homework, he said. Could you help me? His mother smiled. I would be delighted. Let me see it. He pushed his math book in front of her. Page 43, he said. She opened the book up to that page and looked at Bradley's torn, smudged paper. Okay, first, let's clear away this newspaper so we have a nice, neat place to work. And while I do that, I want you to go get us a clean sheet of paper. Well, I don't have any more paper. This is the only piece I brought home. Oh, well, there's some paper in your father's desk, and go get us a sharp pencil, too. He looked at her in disbelief. He was not allowed to go touch anything in his father's room or on his desk. She nodded. It'll be okay. Bradley felt a little bit scared as he walked into the extra bedroom, which his father used as an office. He opened the top drawer of the old oak desk and carefully took out a pencil and piece of paper. He shut the drawer and looked around and hurried back to his mother. She smiled at him. He sat down, and this time he wrote much neater. Bradley Chalkers, homework, arithmetic, page 43, Red Hill School, room 12, Miss Ebel's class, last seat, last row, black eye. You have to put all of that at the top of your page, he explained, in case your paper gets lost. So she read the question out loud. What is 3/4 of 2/3? He said, okay, well, the first thing you want to do is write it as an equation. He still didn't know what to do. So she wrote it down for him. 3/4 of 2/3. Whenever you see the word of, it means multiply, she explained. Of means times, he said. Right, said his mom. Well, that was what the lion had said. Now you can cancel out the 3's, said his mother. That was what the kangaroo had said. You always cancel out the 3's. Neither of them noticed that Claudia was standing behind them watching them. Yeah, that's not how you do it anymore, she said abruptly. Bradley turned around and glared at her. You have to explain to him why you're canceling out the 3's, said Claudia. And we don't call it canceling anymore. We call it dividing by 1. Well, said Bradley's mother, I just know the way I learned it when I went to school. Well, if you want to, Bradley, I can show you, said Claudia. He looked at his mother and then back at Claudia and then back at his mother. Well, she does know the way they're teaching it at school now, said his mother. You mean you're going to help me? Said Bradley. Sure, why not? I don't have anything else better to do, said his sister. Well, now, don't do it for him, said Bradley's mother. Make sure he knows how to do it by himself. So Claudia worked patiently with Bradley for the rest of the afternoon. When he said he understood something, she made him explain it back to her. That was even harder. He understood it when she did it, but then when he had to do it by himself, it was harder. By dinner time, they were only halfway through. Bradley wanted Claudia to help him after dinner too, but she had her own homework to do. You know how to do it, she told him. You can do it all by yourself. I need help, he complained. Well, I'll help you, said his father. You will? Said Bradley. Yes, let's go to my office. We can work at my desk. Bradley could not believe it. They worked together, and Bradley was surprised by how smart his father was. He made all the hard parts seem so easy. Bradley was a little disappointed by how quickly they finished their work. He liked working with his father. He brought his finished homework back to his room. Oh, I get it, Bradley, said Bartholomew. You multiply the numerators and the denominators separately. But I don't understand the reducing. Oh, it's easy, said Bradley. Here, let me show you. And now we're going to be on chapter 29. Pick up there tomorrow or Thursday when I'm back. All right. Be very, very good. Make it a great day. Make today great. Make tomorrow great too. Miss you.